we all know that Star Wars makes a lot of money, and we know that it's made already back its $4 billion that it cost to buy from George Lucas. But now Star Wars has surpassed Harry Potter as the second largest movie franchise of all time, just as soon as Last Jedi crossed the $1 billion mark. Listen to this, guys. Star Wars, the franchise, has amassed $8.5 billion compared to Harry Potter's 8.5. Okay, so I got to keep going further. So $8,556,000,000 compared to Harry Potter's $8.539 billion. $8,539,000,000. Those are big numbers to read. Still really impressive. And think about it. I mean, I would have thought Star Wars would have already been there. I mean, clearly it hasn't been. But David, you hear those numbers.
Do you think that Disney threw a party? Do you think somewhere in the offices at Disney there was a great big board, like a scoreboard that has the Disney, the Star Wars franchise total, the Harry Potter, and then as soon as it peaked over and made more money, they popped champagne and turned and gave Warner Brothers a finger or something.
Yeah, but I definitely think for sure that they since it's their franchise now, I think they have.
Think they celebrated?
They have to. I mean, I'm hoping they got chocolate fountains and pranced around. The fact of the matter is,
pranced around.
Disney's probably going to buy out Warner Brothers in the next decade anyway, so it'll eventually be there again. But my thing is this: I mean, you had 8 Harry Potter movies, and you're getting 9 now with Star Wars, and you're going to have 10 by the end of the episode 9 with the standalones. I mean, you think about it, it's really impressive. One, that Harry Potter was able to do that financially with just those 8 films and the money. But Star Wars here is really going to blow the roof off the building here, because there's arguably, 30, 40, 50 years of future films. I mean, we're going to be talking about, $20 billion of a franchise.
Well, the 9 films, because they're counting the Fantastic Beasts as part of the Harry Potter franchise.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that they're doing that now.
So, I mean, there's still some competition there.
But they're not going to be cranking out the films. I mean, Force Awakens, more than $2 billion. Mm-hmm. Rogue One, more than $1 billion. Probably going to finish around $1.6 billion for Last Jedi. Mm-hmm. I mean, those Harry Potter movies aren't bringing in those dollars.
Yep.
So really interesting to see. Jesse, I mean, are you on pretty much the same page with us? Is that Star Wars is only continue to make more and create a larger gap there between that and second place?
Yeah, I mean, considering that we still have a whole another, trilogy movie coming, we have, I don't know, the standalone movies might be dead after Solo.
That's a real possibility, I think. I think they're going to really have to reevaluate what they're doing, which I think is nerve-wracking, because like we mentioned earlier, I don't want that to sacrifice an Obi-Wan standalone movie, because I really want more Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan Kenobi.
If anything, I like to think even if this movie fails, they might be more cautious on the stories they pick.
Okay, yeah.
The thing is Ian McGregor's expressed interest in reprising the role. So that's the thing, is you're not dealing with somebody else.
Did you call me Ian? Oh. Ewan. Yeah, I thought that's why I was laughing. I was like, what?
That's a bad negotiating move. I really want this job. Okay, we'll pay you $10. Well, can I get $15? Not if you want the job. You're taking the 10. I mean, bad negotiating move, but I really want him back in.
No, but you understand what I'm saying, though? Like, the fact is that he can still reprise the role easily and everything, where they brought in a young actor for Han Solo. And I'm not trying to knock on this actor.
No, but I'm with you. I mean, I would rather, if you can bring Ewan McGregor back for an Obi-Wan movie, then do an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. Yeah. But if you can't bring Harrison Ford back to do a young Han Solo movie, I mean, if you're not going to de-age him like they're de-aging Robert De Niro with that Irishman movie that Scorsese's doing, if he's not willing to do that, then don't touch that character anymore. Take Alden Ehrenreich and go put him in a different part of the timeline in Star Wars and give us new stories and expand
exactly.
it.
I mean, it's exactly what they did with Rogue One. Is they took one of the biggest questions in the fan base was, why did they build a freaking hole in the side of the thing? Okay, well, this answers it. Okay, is it the greatest story? No, but it was good enough.
I think it was great.
I mean, I've met people who are like, "Oh, everybody dies." It's just like, no, but it makes sense.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
It makes sense. It's continuity correct, and
What you got, David?
I was clicking through IMDb.
Yeah.
And I noticed that Alden Ehrenreich,
Yes.
who's playing Solo.
Last movie was Hail Caesar, I think.
Well, he's not the top billed cast member. Amelia Clarke is for this movie.
Huh.
That's interesting.
Well, isn't Amelia Clarke a little bit more known than Alden Ehrenreich?
Without a doubt. But you
Yeah, I
still
think that's why
that
you
the
would do it.
title character, I mean, it all comes down to negotiations, what they put in their contract, what they're able to get by. But you'd still think that they would want the guy that's, this movie is named after to be the top billed cast.
We're hearing just so many mixed reviews on his
Yeah.
ability on set. I'm really nervous, but again, we'll find out come May of this year. That's going to do it for Real Talk. Real Talk is the segment where we talk about everything movie related. If you have any thoughts on Han Solo, the movie, the Solo Star Wars story coming out in May, if you have any thoughts on Christian Bale possibly in a Star Wars movie, any of the topics that we just discussed, if you haven't already, take the time. If you're watching, comment down in the comment section below.